Everyone loves shiny Pokemon. They're heavily sought after, people go through insane lengths to get them, and they're exceptionally rare. But what if I told you that there are some shiny Pokemon that people genuinely hate? Now, why is that the case? Aren't shiny Pokemon universally loved by the Pokemon community? Well, yes, but you have to consider, what is the reason that people love shinies? It could be because of their exclusivity, their rarity, the amount of effort it takes to get one, or simply just their design. You see, a Pokemon's shiny colors can heavily influence their popularity. Take these Pokemon, for example. All of these shinies have designs that are, for the most part, universally liked because their shiny colors are significantly different than their regular counterparts. So, what does that mean for the Pokemon with shinies that don't look different compared to their regular forms? Well, you guessed it. They're really disliked. Along with those notorious puke yellow green colored shinies, the Pokemon that have shiny forms that barely look any different at all have had people fed up. So, in this video, I'm going to recolor the shinies of some of the most problematic Pokemon. First up, we have Garchomp. Garchomp is probably the reason most people clicked on this video. Garchomp is the ace Pokemon of Cynthia, who is the champion of the Sinnoh League. You'd assume a pseudo-legendary with a cool design like this would get a decent shiny, but nope. We got this watered down, desaturated, regular Garchomp for its shiny colors. Yeah. So, for its recolor, I decided to give Garchomp a great white shark of a makeover. I think this design pops out more with the lighter colors since Garchomp is normally a more darker navy blue. And one of my personal favorite things about shiny Pokemon is when they have an eye color that is different. So I made his eyes a glowy green because why not? I was tempted to give Garchomp a shiny palette similar to its mega form, but since he was the inspiration for this video, I wanted to just experiment with colors and pick something that I think would be more fitting. Alright, next up we have Charcadet. Charcadet's shiny is pretty sad. Nothing really changes at all aside from his eye color and the eyelash flame thing he has. I always found it really weird when shinies would have the same color palette, but with a slight change. So I changed a lot of things for the shiny redesign. So for this recolor, I took a lot of inspiration from Cerulege. I always thought it was kind of unfair that Charcadet looks so similar to Armor Rouge, while its other evolution, Cerulege, is just kind of the odd one out. So I thought it would be a fun twist for a shiny Charcadet to resemble Cerulege's colors with the purple flames, glowing pinkish purple eyes, and dark purple armor. Next up after Charcadet, we have its evolution, Armor Rouge. Similar to Charcadet, only its eye color changes. So, for this shiny redesign, I took a similar approach and gave Cerulege's colors to Armor Rouge for its shiny. Just like the last redesign, I feel like the stark contrast in colors, especially with the purple flames, really pops out more and it looks really cool. Armor Rouge is part psychic type, and I think these colors scream psychic type. Next up, we have the other evolution of Charcadet, Cerulege. By now, you probably have an idea what I did for this recolor, so I'll just get right to it. This looks awesome. Giving Cerulege Armor Rouge's gold armor and red flames looks amazing for its shiny. I want this to be a real shiny so bad. I had so much fun coloring this one. I think this is a huge improvement from just having a different color eye. After Cerulege, we have Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd looks exactly the same, except it's slightly more of a faded peach color. Most people can't even tell what type of bird Farfetch'd is in the first place, so I kind of took that approach when giving it a shiny redesign. Yeah, I gave Farfetch'd rubber ducky colors. I think it stands out a lot more, almost of a golden kind of shiny. The yellowish gold color and orange beak make it look a lot more noticeable as a duck Pokemon, and of course, the leak it holds is an actual item and part of its lore, so changing its color wouldn't make a lot of sense. Plus, I think these colors are so cute on it. It looks absolutely adorable, and I would definitely want to shiny hunt for one of these. Similar to Garchomp, I know a lot of people who have complained about Gengar's shiny. It's just a slightly darker shade, and even its eyes don't even change color, which is really boring and tragic, considering Gengar is such a universally beloved Pokemon with its own cult following. So, for this recolor, I basically took Shiny Mega Gengar's palette and gave it to Gengar because it is criminal that Ghastly, Haunter, and Mega Gengar all get great shinies, but Gengar's is bland and boring. I think the pure white with pink undertones and spooky gray eyes stand out so much. This shiny would be a lot more fitting whenever Gengar would Mega Evolve, and it just looks incredible. I love this. Game Freak, please change Gengar shiny. Thank you. Sincerely, everyone. After Gengar, we have Tandemaus slash Mousehold. These cute little mouse Pokemon look exactly identical to their regular form, except for a tiny little vest that is almost an off-white color to begin with that most people can't even see. This Pokemon is extremely difficult to spot out, that it can be pretty frustrating to look for in the Pokemon games. So, for its shiny, I initially was going for another mouse fur color, kind of like a golden coat similar to Jerry from Tom and Jerry, for example. I also wanted the vest to be a lot more noticeable and darker, so I made it black. When I was playing around with the colors, this all black concept also looked really nice to me, so I wanted to include it as another potential palette that I think looks nice and stands out a lot. Next up, we have Glaceon. Now, I know some people like Glaceon shiny, but I think it just looks too similar to its base colors. Plus, it being an evolution, it definitely deserves a more unique shiny. So, for Glaceon shiny, I went with a really pure white, almost translucent coat. I think this bright, icy white coloring makes it stand out a lot more and perfectly captures that rare, majestic looking, shiny ice Pokemon vibe. Any other color would kind of make Glaceon look like a completely different type, so that's why I think this bright white fits it pretty well. After Glaceon, we have probably the second most hated shiny Pokemon ever, Gimmighoul. There's not much to say about Gimmighoul. For a while, people couldn't even get its shiny form because it's only been available through Terra raids or other unique events. But even so, it's pretty tragic that it looks nearly identical to its regular form with only a slightly brighter white color added to it. For Gimmighoul's recolor, I wanted to make a lot of changes to make it stand out more, so I swapped its gold and silver coloring and added some hints of blue instead of red for the chest because I think blue and silver are great opposites to red and gold. I also wanted to make Gimmighoul's body color more gold, but have it collect silver or platinum coins instead. Finally, we have the most hated shiny Pokemon of all time, Gholdengo. Gholdengo's shiny is identical to its regular form unless you zoom in 1000% on it and notice the tiny little bands wrapped around its body. Since most people couldn't even get a shiny Gimmighoul to begin with, a lot of people assumed Gholdengo didn't even have a shiny form. It's almost impossible to notice, and it's extremely disappointing that a Pokemon so unique has such a bland and uneventful shiny coloring. So for Goldengo, I took an approach similar to Gimmighoul, where I made Goldengo's red and gold design look sleek, silvery, and cool with silver or platinum vibes, with a dash of blue to complement the contrast in colors. I think this shiny recoloring does justice for Goldengo, and the fact that the official shiny even exists in the first place makes me want this to be real even more. So, those were the most controversial shinies and my recolors for them. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and what shiny Pokemon do you think needs a redesign? Thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe. Bye!